Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So tonight I went to a special screening of The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which is a behind the scenes documentary by Artist Equity, which is owned by Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and other partners. And it focuses on the making of This Is Me Now, a love story. Now, if you thought This Is Me Now, a love story was a lot personal connection with J-Lo, then this documentary gets even deeper into that because we actually see a lot of raw footage from behind the scenes, a lot of her crying, a lot of emotional moments, a lot of things that we deal with on a day-to-day. Like, I cry almost every other day from work. You know, she's doing the same thing, trying to make this masterpiece come to life. And she also addresses that she didn't need to do this, but she wanted to do this in hopes of other women, other people, other men learning from this and finding themselves and finding love and just growing and being okay being them by themselves. So I really enjoyed it. You know, I loved the film, but watching this just gave me a deeper appreciation for people in the entertainment business and the amount of hard work, the amount of grueling tasks that goes on behind it, also for their families, their teams, everybody who's involved, because it's something that's so intense and it takes up so much time. And we're seeing a finished product on screen. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. Like, of course, we're sitting here from our regular day-to-day jobs and we're going through it too, but it's almost human and humanizes celebrities by seeing that they are just like us, they go through the same things. And I think what Jennifer is doing is paving the way for other artists to create music videos that are more of a cinematic experience that makes fans connect with the talent. And I think the documentary also gives us more access to her life. And it's also, in my eyes, an FU to all of the media and all of the people who just want to spread negativity. Because after watching this, if you really want to still go to her page and write something negative, which is not doing anything for anyone, then I don't know what to say. But it really made me think deeper about myself, about other people, how you treat people, how you look at people, whether somebody seems to be in the best life ever and super glamorous, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So I really enjoyed it. I really encourage you to watch This Is Me Now, a Love Story, and then watch The Greatest Love Story Never Told. It does come out at the end of this week. Check out this special Q&A we had with J-Lo, directors, cast, and crew tonight, and let me know what you think.
Good evening.
Hello.
Wait, which one?
They got like 10,000, 20,000 views.
Is it on TikTok also?
So I didn't post it on TikTok, but I did a reaction to
Because in just over 1 year, Artist Equity has proven to be dedicated to creators, talent, and filmmakers when that matters more than ever. So indulge me, please, as I tell you about this remarkable little company. As many of you know, in 2023, Artist Equity debuted its first feature film, Air. Critically acclaimed worldwide theatrical box office and streaming smash hit on Amazon Prime that tells the true story of Michael Jordan, his relationship with Nike, and gives you a peek behind the curtains of the entrepreneurs of the 80s. In addition to the rave reviews the film earned, it also received several Golden Globe nominations and announced the presence of Artist Equity with an authority and a relief to the entertainment industry hungry for a company that celebrates both the film and the filmmaker. Kiss the Future, a U2-inspired documentary set during the Bosnian War and siege of Sarajevo in the 1990s, and showcasing how U2 lent their support to help the community reunite and heal, is yet another documentary that Artist Equity backed, and it's currently in theatrical release. Additionally, this company, in just 1 year, has financed Cillian Murphy's Small Things Like These, which just opened the Berlin Film Festival to critical acclaim, earning a Golden Bear nomination for Best Film and a Silver Bear win for supporting actress Emily Watson, marking the first film Cillian has done since Oppenheimer. Also, Artist Equity, in a year, recently wrapped The Instigators for Apple, a crime drama starring Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, directed by Doug Liman, as well as Unstoppable, a true story about the indomitable spirit of Anthony Robles, a one-legged wrestler. Directed by Billy Goldenberg, Unstoppable stars Jarrell Jerome, Bobby Cannavale, Don Cheadle, and Jennifer Lopez. And last but certainly not least, there is, of course, Duncan. Now the coolest donuts in the world, and the Dun Kings, who Ben Medina, I think, are shopping for a record deal. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have not only addressed a glaring gap in the creative industry, but have also set a remarkable precedent and a remarkable bar for a more collaborative and equitable future. And we are all here tonight at their largesse because they decided if Jennifer Lopez was brave enough, body enough, and strong enough to stand up to the naysayers who feared and or didn't understand her dream, they would be equally brave, body, and strong enough to support it. In a world of followers, thank you, Artist Equity, for leading the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest love story ever told. The people that made this possible. There are so many, but just a few. First of all, our amazing filmmaker, Jason Bergh. You're here. Thank you, Jason. And now, from Artist Equity, Jillian Brown, who produced literally, you call her day or night, and she was just on. Next, our producing partner, Jennifer, and my producing partner, our wing woman, who not only worked on This Is Me Now, but also produced, along with Jillian, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, Courtney Baxter. It's funny, when I was outside just now and Amazon was saying, so you're gonna, do the Q&A, I said, so I'll bring Jason and Jillian and Courtney up. They went, and Jennifer, I forgot. The amazing, the woman who makes all of this possible. There's, it's funny, they say don't meet your heroes, but she's everything I ever wanted her to be. Come on up here, Jay.
All right. Hi.
There you go, guys.
Quick Q&A.
So we called the millions of people, and here's the top questions that they asked us to ask. Oops. Okay, Jennifer, this one's for you. Why did you do this documentary? And did you hesitate at all?
It wasn't my idea.
Right.
It wasn't my idea to photograph every single moment of doing this. To be honest, when we started making the film, it just kind of got more and more bizarre, and my husband, who had a front seat to the whole thing, really was the one who was like, we should be capturing this. And he brought on this amazing team, and that's kind of how it happened.
Did you hesitate at all?
I feel like along the way I was it's like stutter stepping the whole way, knowing that I wanted to go forward, knowing that I had this tremendous impulse and kind of like drive to say something like I had not wanted to say in my whole life, just in being an artist and even in growing up, like I've never wanted to kind of share something in that way, the way I did when I got back together with Ben and we started making this album, and I have some of my team here who made the album with us. But it was just very clear to me that I had to, one, make this music because it was just kind of very organically pouring out of me what I wanted to say about love and what I had discovered and what I wanted to share. And then in that kind of revisiting the 20 years in between was inevitable. And so as that started happening, you start realizing there's so much more to the story to tell than just the music and just the movie. There's even more than that, right? And it became kind of a quest of like, I have to do this, I have to get this done. So.
And now, it's just so extraordinary when you see the amazing reviews for this and for your original, the Amazon original. You know, we all seem so smart, right? in retrospect. Jason, you worked with Jennifer on several other projects, including her first documentary, Halftime. How was this one different?
You know, Halftime was fast paced. We were, going, doing the Super Bowl, and we were traveling between New York, LA, Miami, and we were just moving. I think the difference with this is we were still. And, there was this 6-week period or 8-week period with a lot of, emotional scenes and very personal, deeply personal scenes. And for us, it was, as a crew, it was, we concentrated on giving her the respect of, us being there but not being in her face, which I do pretty good sometimes. Sometimes I'll fall or I'll hit something.
You do have a tendency to trip over things backwards.
But, this is, obviously deeply personal, and I'm just very grateful that, I was asked to do this, because working with Jennifer for the last 6 years has been, one of the highlights of my life.
I understand. Julian, this is the first time you've worked with Jennifer. Were you nervous?
I was nervous to work with everyone, Elaine. I was nervous to work with you. I mean, it's like, I come from the doc world. I come from indie films. All of a sudden I found myself on this avenue of giants with these Hollywood legends. Ben and Matt, of course, but then Elaine and Benny and you, Jennifer. And I was very nervous and excited and honored and also curious. Curious to see where you wanted this to go. So many films, so many docs, I think, out in the world right now are about famous people, are about public figures. And I was really curious, first to hear from Ben, and then even more importantly, to come onto your set and Dave Meyer's set and to see what story you wanted to tell. And I remember that very first meeting. Jennifer invited us and Benny to sit with her at her studio rehearsal, and we sat down, and 3 hours later, in a box of tissues, I think all of us cried. I knew what
that one scene, actually.
Yeah, that was it. Made me cry.
Where I talk about, where I talk about basically how the world saw me and how I saw myself was that first day. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. And it never really stopped. I think that set the bar and set the tone for everything else, and it was such a deep honor. Thank you.
Were you surprised at how much access she gave you?
I was surprised, and I felt a great responsibility. It's your personal life, it's your husband's personal life, and I think all of us approached the project with that understanding, and are very grateful with what we were able to share ultimately. So thank you.
Court, you're our producing partner on everything we do, and hopefully everything we will do.
Yes.
But on this one, you produced This Is Me Now, and you produced a documentary.
Yes.
You were pulled in a lot of directions, and I know because we spoke every second of the day. Did you find yourself conflicted at any point?
The short answer is yes, definitely. I feel like almost every day in this job I ask, when you have multiple things to do that are urgent, and you have multiple projects that you're trying to service, and you want to make sure that you're doing a good job on all of them, where do you start? What do you do next? Constantly wondering. And I can't say that I have the answer, but for us, it's a lot of trusting your team that's around you, that everybody participate and help for the greater good. And, also listening to your gut. And at least in this case, if we were having a stressful day or something was difficult on set, I could, step away and think, well, maybe that made for a good scene in the doc, I hope. At least something compelling and real.
The silver lining.
Yeah.
Jennifer, I know I hate every single frame of film I am in. Every single time I look at myself. What is the hardest thing for you to let them see?
I mean, in a way, I think people would think I'm so used to being in front of a camera, and I'm quite comfortable with it, and that is true. I am comfortable with it. But when you are kind of sharing you don't have a script that you're reading and playing a character, or you're not singing a song that you've written and is gonna go out to the world, but you're just living your life and really sharing your deepest thoughts, because that's what you have to explore to tell this story and to do what you're trying to do. That for me was very scary. The other scary part was that I was bringing into it, my husband, who, was kind of the reluctant, participant, silent participant in all of it. It was like, I just said to him, during one of the parts of the week, I was like, is this weird? He's like, yes. I said, you're crazy. I told him he was crazy, not me. You're crazy. But I know that I'm the crazy one. I get that part. But I really feel like, as an artist, you have to be vulnerable. You have to, even when you're playing a role, right? You have to get down to the real parts of yourself to share what it's like to be human. And that is a scary thing to do.
Because this was real. I was there. I had the first row seat. This was real. There was nothing staged. That was were real private moments, I thought.
Right, and so, those are scary things. I don't think anybody wants to be filmed here day and night for 6 weeks and then have us put together something and show it to everybody and be like, oh my God, and I do. I look at it and there's many moments where I'm like, oh my God. Not even just the way I look, but the way I talk, the way I move, everything about yourself. You kind of start analyzing. You're like, oh, that's what I look like when I'm not acting or singing or dancing on film.
Yeah.
That's the real me. And so that was, scary.
I thought it was beautiful. Jason, what were some unexpected moments you captured that ended up making the cut? That's the first question. And how come you promised me that gym scene would never make the cut?
I love the gym scene.
That's the best scene in the whole movie.
It shows such beauty of yours, Anna's, and Jennifer's relationship. And she's having a hard moment, and you guys are there to kind of lift her up and be her wings, And I think that in and of itself just, is beautiful. So I'm happy that scene is in.
But it was also a great moment because he was coming over to film rehearsal.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I just can't rehearse today. I'm too exhausted. And it happened.
You were incredibly sad. You couldn't be at air. You were devastated.
Yeah.
It's funny. I sometimes think when I watch those reality shows, oh, they have to know a camera. I didn't even realize, that you don't even know it's there. You're so focused on, was there any other unexpected moments that you wrestled with in putting in the film and the edit?
No, I think, when you document, like Jennifer was saying, such personal moments, throughout this process, there's times when we're filming where, you say, I wonder is this going to make it into the film? You hope certain things make it into the film, but like she said, I couldn't imagine being on that side of the camera and having my life documented like that. I'm too nervous to do that. I'm nervous up here right now. But, yeah.
Well, I'll give this to Jen, but you often answer a theme that the documentary explores, I thought beautifully, as Jennifer Lewis said, is that the prize for aging is wisdom. Jennifer, what does that mean to you right now?
Picking all of the zodiacs, I picked, Jennifer Lewis specifically because that's who she really is, right? Like you saw it, just who she was, and that's what she bought. I wanted her to bring that to the documentary, and she's always kind of spewing out this wisdom that's hard earned from a life lived fully, and that means you inevitably have really dark and hard moments. And so for me, that's what it is. It's the survivor. It's what This Is Me Now is about, right? I said, This Is Me then was about, was me at that time, 20-something years ago now, where I was just making my first albums and trying to become this person and all the dreams that I had and trying to be that, right? And become that. But This Is Me Now is that was me then. Who I am now is a totally different person who's been through all of this stuff. Some of it was really, really painful. Some of it was really magnificent. And just embracing all of that, the wisdom of going, this is who I am now, and I'm going to really accept this person now, and I'm gonna forgive them. And it's the forgiveness of that, and that's why I like that the forgiveness part is in there, because you kind of look back and go, oh, I really fucked up there. I really made a terrible mistake there. I really did that. I really regret that I did that. And then when you get to a point where you go, you know what? That's where I was in my journey at that time, and I forgive myself that, and I accept that because it's made me who I am today, and today I'm pretty proud of who I've become. And I can really embrace that person. And so, that's what This Is Me Now is. It's a statement of acceptance.
Yeah, no, I know that throughout this, as Benny and I would speak 50 times a day, he was so moved by this journey that he labored over daily. And he would, and he told me that, very much like what you had just said, just about accepting the life lessons, and I think that message sort of permeates to many people. Jillian, as producers, what do you and Artist Equity hope people will take away from the documentary?
I mean, I can't imagine a more exciting way to announce to everyone that Artist Equity is in the doc business as well, so thank you. But as women for a long time, other people told our stories for us. And it wasn't just women, but I think as a woman, I felt like my story was told a lot, our stories were told. And after a lot of hard work, we started, reclaiming the narrative or owning the narrative, and that felt good. But I think what meant the most to me across this is watching Jennifer's This Is Me Now project and actually seeing you writing your narrative, authoring your narrative. And it felt like a totally radical thing and critically important. One of your lines in the film, I didn't need to do any of this, but I want to, I think really resonated for me, and hopefully our company in that, following that urge, that artistic urge, I think can be such a North Star for artists and filmmakers that sometimes we lose touch with. And I hope that people watching this remember to trust that feeling and to not just make the stories that they think they should make, that fit in a box, but tell the stories that they deeply want to make, to follow those desires and dreams. Those are the best stories of all.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene?
I have many favorite scenes, but I think watching it tonight, because I'm always thinking what's resonating tonight, it was watching the montage of This Is Me Now and Hearts and Flowers, after we labored over the mud and getting everything right and the costumes, and I think it just does a beautiful job of showing that exhaustion, almost for lack of a better word, of just doing something over and over again until you get it right. And that level of commitment that Jennifer had, the dancers had, Dave, Nathan, our whole teams, to just get everything to be right, and to see it up on this screen and see how hard everybody was working in that moment, for me it's so special, because it's just a reward of like, okay, we pulled it off, and it's up there on the screen now, so it's great.
Jennifer?
Yes?
What would you want to say to Jennifer 20 years from now?
20 years from now?
Yeah.
The future Jennifer?
The future Jennifer. What do you want to tell her?
Oh. Future Jennifer. I don't even know. That's such a good question, but I hate it, because I don't know what to say. 20 years from now, what do I want to say to that person 20 years in the future?
I can give you a hint.
Okay.
Aren't you glad I took the advice and started to celebrate every day and realize everything I am instead of everything I'm not?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So you had that. You set me up. You set me up so you could throw away the good line.
Will there be a This Is Me someday we can all look forward to?
This is me.
This is me forever.
This is me.
This is me.
I don't know what the next one
Yeah,
will be.
I don't know. That
No,
was
I really feel like this is the closing of one journey. This is a real kind of like moment where I never thought there'd be a This Is Me Now. And so when that happened, you know, like I said, and kind of it closes the loop on a certain thing that I have been searching for my whole life. And now I hope that I can start to the next process, which is truly learning how to heal, you know, from the things that I've accepted about my journey that have been difficult, and going back and fixing those, because now I have that bed to lie in of love and for myself and in my life. And so that's, to me, the next, you know, iteration. But at least we know, like, true love is out there. It exists.
And magic, right? I mean, it really is. Thank you so much, everybody.
Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. I also have a very special interview with Dave Meyers, who you may know from many iconic videos from back in the 2000s, 90s, and he also has obviously worked with J-Lo in her early days, and he directed This Is Me Now, A Love Story. So make sure you watch that and continue to like, comment, and subscribe.